I have always been a fitness instructor my whole life since I was 18. Before that, I was a ballroom dancer and as a little girl. So I had a real passion for music and movement. And I've done that all my life. And then I started to limp and trip in about 2013. And I had no pain or injury, nothing had happened. And so I was eventually, after 18 months, diagnosed with a condition called muscular dystrophy. And there's 100 different types of muscular dystrophy, and the one I have is called FSH, and it sort of is quite random where it affects you, but it particularly obviously affected me because it did go down it through my right leg, so that had a massive impact on my job and my career and my life. So yeah, it's been quite a challenge.
But you're obviously very aware of the fact that doing exercise and also having music around you was actually really crucial for yourself with regards to the healing process, but also keeping your spirits up. And so you decided to sort of do something about that, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So what happened was I started to become unable to teach my regular classes. So the things that you normally see on a timetable, like Zumba and HIIT and things like that. And I couldn't do that anymore. And that was heartbreaking because obviously that's all I've ever known, all I've ever done. It's kept me fit and healthy and, as you say, mentally and physically really well. And so what happened was I also then, because of the condition, I ruptured my right knee, which means that I snapped both ligaments on both sides of the knee. So I then had a big operation and a brace, and I was sort of really, really, really immobile. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? I've got to keep exercising. I knew that it would be crucial to my recovery and rehabilitation. So I just started to create a little program for myself. And I did it for about 3 minutes every hour, sitting down, and then because I had a big brace on as well, and then, then eventually sitting on a fit ball, and then eventually getting up onto my feet. And that just grew and grew and grew. And my consultant was amazed because it wasn't a guarantee that I was going to get back on my feet and be able to walk again, because it's a long time to recover from a surgery like that. And also at the same time, the disease is it's a muscle wasting disease. So the muscles are continuing to atrophy at the same time. So it's a battle that you're constantly juggling with. And I did that to music, and it just really came from there. And it was just, the consultant was just so flabbergasted. The physios were amazed, and they just said, well, whatever you're doing, put it in a bottle and sell it. And I thought it kind of gave me the idea. And I thought, actually, there's so many people. I met so many people through this journey of going in and out of hospital, waiting to be diagnosed and things like that. And I just thought so many people would benefit from gentle exercise. And so we created the class. I created the class. I taught it in my community. We had 80, 90 people turning up. And I thought, gosh, this is, this, people need to see this. And other instructors came and contacted me locally to near where I live and said, what are you doing? Well, you've got this amazing class we're hearing. And that's really how the instructor training came to be. And then Donna contacted me and said, she wanted to offer something for a wider range of people, and then Paracise was born on the Isle of Man.
Which is absolutely brilliant. And as we know, it's going from strength to strength over here in every possible way, I think. And as you said, obviously we've heard about your situation, which proves that you can do this. You can do exercise even if you are challenged. And obviously it's something you do need to check with your GP. But what other types of people would you say it suits?
So it really suits any age. It suits any ability, as long as you're as you say, you've been recommended to exercise gently by your doctor. I mean, if you need something more specific, if you tend to fall, if you're very unbalanced, then you need something by that's delivered by a physio or something like that. But really, I think one of the things that I'm really trying to smash is this idea that gentle exercise is just for old people, because it's a preventative medicine. And if you've got you could have a slightly sore knee, that's going to stop you from going into the gym, possibly doing your regular walk or run. It might stop you doing your regular Zumba class. And rather than do nothing, you can go along to a Paracise class where you've got 45 minutes of standing exercises, and you're not going to be doing any impact, and it works on the really important things of breathing, deep lateral thoracic breathing, which is just really taking nice deep breaths in and out, so that you're using all your apparatus that you're born with to help you breathe, stretching all your fascial system, which is your connective system, which runs through the whole body, and then posture, balance, alignment, and just really getting the flow going through the body. It's vital to keep moving.
It's clearly got so many benefits, and we talked about the medical profession and how they've responded to seeing how well you've done with it. Is this something that we could maybe be sort of rolled out within the NHS or sort of recommended through GPs?
We are desperately trying to get more involved with the NHS because, especially from my point of view, when I was first diagnosed with muscular dystrophy, I had a year of neurophysiotherapy up in a London hospital, which is quite near to where I live. And afterwards, after the year, they sort of said, there you go, that's it, off you go, do some exercise. And I thought, well, that's okay for me. I can create my exercise plan, but what about somebody else? They're really just a member of the public. How do they go about creating and understanding exercise from this point? And a lot of physios say that what Paracise is it fills the gap between traditional exercise and having specialist treatment, physio and things like that. Once you've been discharged from that, where do you go? Or just a normal everyday person that doesn't need physio but's got a niggle or a tightness or a sore, something or another, but they've got to keep moving the rest of the body. Just because your knee hurts doesn't mean to say the rest of the body just sits there and does nothing.
Mm-hmm. And that sort of fits with what Paracise means, the word, doesn't it?
Yeah, so para is Greek, it means alongside, and Paracise runs alongside traditional exercise. I think finding the word was the most difficult thing. When you're creating a program, you really want one word, and it's difficult because some people misinterpret it. But once we get it out there, I think people go to the class, they realise, what type of exercise it is.
Well, it's great to speak with you and great to hear how things are going. What is next for you, Sarah?
So we're just really pushing. I mean, I'm relentless. In fact, it's quite funny because I work with another somebody that helps me, and when we go into a meeting, she often says to people, look, I'll tell you now, you're better off just saying yes to her because she won't stop until you agree to have it on your timetable. So I'm relentless at pushing it. I try, every time we get in front of a GP, anyone in the national health, anyone in the medical profession, they love it, but it's really about getting it onto a wider audience. Decision makers at the top of the NHS, and say, look, we don't need your money. We just need you to help us spread the word across the UK and get more and more people, enjoying and benefiting from Paracise classes.
Excellent. It's really exciting to hear, and congratulations on how far this has come. And thank you for being able to work with Donna and bringing it to the Isle of Man.
Oh, you're welcome. It's lovely. And thank you to everybody out there, all the listeners that are going along to the classes. And of course, especially thanks to Donna for doing such an amazing job.